Something's coming. Something unstoppable.
Look around you, my friend. How much light do you see?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds when I was sleeping.
Hate comes in every color.
And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sun.
We have devised a plot to assassinate the Führer.
You will go to England as our spy.
Churchill sees Germany as a whole. He's afraid that a bomb traced to England would mean invasion or worse.
Invasion? Invasion? My country was invaded from within.
And the people bowed in parade to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning. And the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words on the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls and whispered in the sun.
I'm ready to meet my destiny.
Of silence.
Well, if you've not seen the Bonhoeffer movie, I would strongly encourage it. My wife, Grace, and I caught it for a recent date night and been texting with Eric Metaxas. And thank you, Eric, for your research on Dietrich Bonhoeffer. And if you've not read his book on Bonhoeffer, that's the one to read. He did a great job. And I would say that it's really, really important with the rise in anti-Semitism. Go see the movie and get a pastoral perspective. In addition, know that there aren't many pastors like Dietrich Bonhoeffer left today. What we have today is a lot of woke pastors, a lot of soft woke pastors, a lot of cowards that lack courage. And Bonhoeffer is a great example of what a true shepherd looks like. A true shepherd is one who loves the sheep, but also will fight the wolves. And he stood up against the regime of Nazi Germany and the demonic counterfeit church of that era. One of the things that I really appreciated in the movie was hearing about Jesus and seeing prayer and a genuine love for the church and for the Word of God. And it was really heartbreaking as well. Just reminded, I never go to ChristianityToday.com because I don't believe in porn or church porn, but I accidentally clicked on, and they had two articles. The first was trashing the movie because it wasn't woke enough for the apostate former glorious publication that's lived down to its name. And then the second most popular story was on the death of Tony Campolo, who was the father of red letter Christianity and apostate, soft woke, pro-gay, transgender, social justice nonsense. And I'm just telling you, the church today is in a sad, weak place, and the platforms that were built to encourage pastors and leaders, they've lost their spine, and they're now even jellyfish with no vertebrae. And I appreciate this movie because it shows that a true shepherd, a true pastor, isn't weak. They're strong. They're not woke. They're born again. And they're willing to stand up against evil and tyranny and injustice, especially when it's in institutions of power like the government and media. And a guy like Bonhoeffer is willing to stand up in a prophetic way and be that sort of singular, solitary voice in the wilderness, crying out against that which is wrong and demonic, but is powerful and profitable. And so it's a prophetic movie for our time. And sadly, there are few pulpits that have that kind of courage and clarity. And I would just close with this. If you're a pastor, make sure you know the difference between being controversial and being scandalous. Dietrich Bonhoeffer in his day was very, very controversial, but he was not scandalous. Jesus Christ was very controversial, but he was not scandalous. The Apostle Paul was controversial, but he was not scandalous. Controversy is where you get in trouble for saying and doing what is right and poking in the eye the things and people that need to be poked. Scandal, that's where you cheat on your wife. That's where you go apostate. That's where you get a DUI or you have a drug addiction or you do something that is disqualifying. Too many pastors are trying to stay out of trouble. The goal is to get in the right kind of trouble. And to do that, don't worry about being controversial. If you do your job, you will be controversial. Just worry about not being scandalous. And for that reason, I really, really love the Bonhoeffer movie. And as a pastor, I hope that an entire younger, emerging generation of godly pastors will take it to heart and have the kind of courage and clarity that sadly my generation of pastors has failed in. And I just feel inclined to say this. My generation of pastors is really disappointing. Deconstructionist, woke, cowards. And for those of you who are older men, you are not finishing well. You're going down with sexual scandal and the like. Shame on you. And for those of you men who are pastors and you've been cowardly and weak and you've not had the courage like Bonhoeffer, shame on you. It started with COVID, and if you closed your doors and put blue tape on the floor and told your people to get a jab and to put a mask on, strike one. During the George Floyd protests and the Black Lives Matter Marxist insurrection, if you were supportive of that kind of social injustice, shame on you, strike two. And then during the presidential election, if you were pro-Harris or just a silent coward on the sidelines, strike three, you're out, shame on you. We need more Bonhoeffers, and I hope the young guys take this to heart.